And it's got to be one of the greatest album covers in the history of albums. This album depicted the temple of Abu Simbel. Of you all anyone who's ever traveled to Kemet, you remember the Abu Simbel is like the highlight of the trip. The pyramids are alright. Abu Simbel, it blows your mind to see what our ancestors did. Abu Simbel was a temple that was built for. He was one of the longest ruling kings of Kemet. He was one of the most prolific builder in Kemet. Ruled for some 67 years to the 1225 BCE. This temple of Abu Simbel was literally carved out of a mountain. It is huge. These four-seated statues of Ramesses are 65 feet high, 6.5 stories high. Between these two temples, these two statues, there is a doorway down here. Here's a man standing right here. All right? Beyond these statues, there's a doorway. Inside of the with 8 17-foot-high statues of Ramesses, which were designed specifically to support the weight of this mountain. This whole temple is literally carved out of a mountain, exterior and interior. Inside, all around the first room are images and metal netture that depict specific aspects in the life of Ramesses. Beyond that first room, there's a second room with antechambers which run into the north and the south side of the mountains, where the priests stored many of the implements that they used within this temple for the daily rituals. Beyond the second room, there's a third room, 138 feet, carved out of the interior of the mountain. And within this known as the Holy of Holies, there were 4 statues. One statue of Ramesses, the other 3 statues were statues of the Neteru, or so-called gods. So it showed you Ramesses is seated among his knowledge and power. The beauty of this temple, and it was built around 1250 BCE. The beauty of this temple is that when the doorway to the temple was thrown open, sunlight would shine 138 feet into the interior of the temple and illuminate the face of Ramesses II only on 2 days and the day of his coronation. Which meant that in 1250 BCE, African architects, engineers, and mathematicians and astronomers knew that the earth was round, knew that the earth rotated on its orbit around the sun, and that it orbited the sun, it tilted on its axis a maximum of 23.5 degrees as it made that 365-day journey around. All this information into account in order to design a temple on the 2 most important days of his life, the day of his birth and the day of his coronation. This is powerful stuff. This is who we were. This is who we were. And if we truly come face to face with this reality and internalize it, we will see this is. So, Maurice White, Earth, Wind, and Fire, chose the temple of Abu Simbel of the album, The All in All. Look at the front and back cover of the album. Here's his entire cover. And essentially is that this cover depicts the all in all. The all in all is another term for the creator, the source of all life. This omnipotent, omnipotent being. And it also represents a concept which native people have known for thousands of years. And that is, there is no time. And that with an understanding of this, you will know that the all in all, the creator, exists everywhere simultaneously. In the past, in the present, and in the future. So this album cover depicts the all in all. It shows you the past, Kemet in its glory. In the spine, you see modern day Egypt. You see the future, the all in all. You're in the middle of it. You're in the midst of it. Don't even realize that you are a creator. You have the ability right now to tap into this power, to reach back into the past and apply this knowledge in your life. You can create a future for your children. That is what free people do. That is what this power is for. The inside of this album is a masterpiece. Inside this album, it took me a number of years to dissect it, to study it and to understand what it all represented. But the inside of this album represents 12 pillars of knowledge, 12 ways by which this ancient knowledge or secrets have been made available to humankind. What you notice here are 2 cherubs, a bolt of lightning, which symbolizes the Creator. You see a pyramid here with the Eye of Heru. In the background, you see Heramakit right here. So these are all guardians of this ancient wisdom. It has been distilled through many different cultures over many, many millennia. And this open book represents the secret, represents knowledge. The flame represents light or enlightenment. So this light, this knowledge, has been available to you in a number of different mediums. It's been available to you through astrology, an understanding of the Hermetic sciences. This is the caduceus. The symbol. It's been available to you through Hinduism. It's been available to you. This is a symbol. This is the last symbol. It was about 8 years ago when I finally deciphered this symbol. This symbol is called the cock of Abraxas. And Abraxas is the mathematical word, the spoken name of the Creator. The word Abraxas, you all remember Santana had an album called Abraxas? Santana is another brother who is into some very deep spiritual metaphysical teachings. Check out his music, check out the artwork on his album, early albums. Santana is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful spirit. Abraxas is the root of the word abracadabra. We see here the Ankh, the Hermetic symbol of life. Represents the balancing of the masculine and feminine sources of creation. You see here the menorah. You see here the eye of Heru. The eye of Jehuti. The eye of Jehuti. Here is a bust of Shakespeare, which symbolizes literature. Here is the cross, which symbolizes Christianity. This is Hinduism, this is Buddhism. I'm sorry. This is Hinduism, this is Buddhism. And then this is music. Right. These are just 12 ways, of many, many ways, that this knowledge has been made available to us. So the reality is, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or a Jew or a Buddhist or a Muslim, as long as you tap into the higher aspects of the Creator, that particular religious interpretation of the Creator. And so what we begin to understand is many aspects of the one manifestation of the Creator. And all of these aspects, if we truly understand the principles that I demonstrated here before us, that all of these aspects are of equal value. None is superior to the other. And this concept is a fundamental difference between religion and spirituality. See, religion purports that God is better than your God. So I can kill you, I can enslave you, I can rape you, I can sell you because you call God by a different name. That ain't spiritual. Religions are man-made. Religions are man's attempt to understand spirituality. And we know from experience that some terrible name in some people's concepts of God. There was an Earth, Wind & Fire album that came out in 1982 called Power Light. In 1980.